right, today is Saturday. Gosh, I don't even know the date anymore. What, October 21st? Something like that? So, today I think we're going to talk about, just some misconceptions around the fitness industry in regards to the consumption of calories and caloric intake for both preparation and recovery of working out, building muscle, and, rebuilding all the tissue and things like that get damaged, and so on and so forth. I think this is kind of a dangerous thing that's marketed upon people, is that they need to consume as much of these, particular supplements slash food, within this 2-hour window, something, whether it's the stuff you're supposed to take pre or the nutrition you're supposed to take in post workout. And it really slams our body with a lot of crap really quickly. A lot of the pre-made whey protein shakes. Number one, I'm always a pretty strong advocate that no one should ever ingest whey protein in any way, shape, or form. Whey is garbage. I mean, it's terrible stuff. You might as well just go get organic raw milk and chug a glass of it, if you're going to stick with a protein dairy option. But besides that, these guys go, well, my growth window is going to be out if I don't get my muscle building meal in, exactly an hour and 45 minutes after my workout, which, obviously right after the workout, they've got to take their super carbo load 3000 to replenish with their 50 grams of protein in it, and then we've got to get X amount of grams of protein in our body as quickly as possible if we're trying to gain muscle, and I did all that back in the day, when I weighed 220, 225, got up to 237 at one point, and I was trying to get 350 plus grams of protein per day, and really putting a strain on my system to try to do that. Philosophically, number one, we shouldn't follow this unless we're getting ready for bodybuilding competitions, in terms of, okay, we're in the off season, we've got to pack on all this muscle mass, and then the preparation there that, you're leading 10 weeks leading into the competition where you have to lean up. Because you can build muscle. We have this gap between the thought, in order just to build muscle and look good, you need to follow what somebody who makes a living doing this does, which couldn't be further from the truth. Not at all. I mean, if some guy is 270 pounds, even in the off season is only 12 or 13% body fat and can lift a small house, when 99% of us don't have the time, the desire, nor the ability to reach that, especially if we're not, starting when we're 21, 22, why should we follow their game plan? That's their game plan. That would be the same as saying, well, I need to be, I enjoy running, I want to do some cardio. Well, you shouldn't even do cardio unless you're doing cardio like an NFL wide receiver and doing everything they're doing. Well, that doesn't apply to us, does it? Because I'm not out there competing with other extraordinary athletes. I just want to lean up and look good, so I want to go run a couple miles. But, my point being is that, we fall into these marketing traps that get us to do what? Get us to consume, get us to spin the dollar bills in our wallet. And I've done a lot of this and gone around in circles with supplements alone for health reasons as well. And, finding out either beforehand or finding out the hard way that I'm basically pissing money away because it's not it's an incomplete, unabsorbable or minimally absorbable, low quality ingredient, which 98% of all supplements out there are. So chances are, if you're taking supplements, they're probably crap. So you need to go back to the drawing board and make sure that the dollars you're spending are spent better. And this still, it's always a struggle. Learning the research, if you actually want to reach some optimal health goals, doing the research is, 80% of the work, to make sure that, the money you're spending is actually worth something, you're getting some value for it. But So I'm trying this thing because I'm trying to, I've got several back injuries I no longer power lift, and so I'm a lot lighter than I used to be. I'm about 185 now. But I'm getting back into trying to add on muscle mass over this winter for sure. So my goal basically is to try a new way and a new approach and not worry about what my nutrient intake is prior to the evening. If you think about it, when is the only time your body recovers? The only time that's possible for it to recover is when you're sleeping. Any other quote-unquote feeling of recovery is you pulling more energy out of your body that is giving you that feeling that you're recovered. If you haven't slept, that recovery is not true. You can only regrow muscle tissue, repair injuries, repair cartilage, your eyes, self-repair, gums, whatever, your skin. I mean, all of your body is repaired during rest. So obviously this points to you need a good night's sleep in order to stay vital and keep everything rolling in the right direction as far as any kind of health and recovery is concerned. But it also means that the most important time for you to shove good quality nutrients in your body is within that 2 hours before you go to bed, not 2 hours after you work out, because who gives a shit? Your metabolism's flying off the wall for one, so what good is it to take in a bunch of stuff when your metabolism's not going to be able to absorb that? It's flying. It's going to go right through you in most cases, especially since the vast majority of people have extraordinarily compromised guts anyway. So there's no reason to say, okay, well, I need my 800,000 calorie meal because I just did legs, so I need to go pump up this an hour and 45 minutes later. I need to pump up a big meal, get it in, so I can have this recovery. Well, like I said before, in the professional bodybuilding example, yes, that would be probably beneficial for them, right? Because they're trying to squeeze every last bit of muscle they can out of their muscle growth, out of their workouts. But as a rule of thumb for just everyday folks and the longevity of being able to do that and the stress it puts on the body, probably not the best way to go about it. People often, when you have a less full stomach, so if you're doing like intermittent fasting, or you're just doing juices or very small meals throughout the day, you tend to have a lot more energy than when you try and cram a big meal down your gut. It's just the way it is. The body has to spend a lot of energy to metabolize, break down, digest all that stuff you just threw in it, and the energy comes from somewhere. It's kind of like bogging down your system. So I'm going to be trying to do a lot of fasting and juice drinking during the day. You okay? You got it? You gonna drink your juice? Okay. You gotta chew your cracker up all the way, honey. All good? Sorry, she's choking on a cracker. Alright. Alrighty. She's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do really intelligently planned evening meals, and then not taking in much at all during the day, at least until about 2 or 3 o'clock. I've been doing some fasting, but I don't think it's been with the right foods when I come out of it, and sometimes I don't follow through. And probably taking in too much protein and not enough fruits and vegetables, so I need to up that, which I'm really going to focus on. So I'm doing celery by itself in the morning is what we're going to do. A lot of lemon, apple, cucumber, and celery juicing, and then I have a whole new array of things I'm going to be working on with my son, who's got autism. So we're gonna, honey, are you okay? You're being a little dramatic. You alright? Drink your juice, baby. Working on him to start really doing heavy metal detoxing, and I'm learning a lot of new stuff. My wife is reading this new book, and I should probably do a little review on that book, but all in all, I think we need to rethink. We need to eat less and eat less animal byproduct proteins early in the day, because they are super hard to digest. And I'm a carnivore. I'm a total carnivore. I mean, I love meat. I love it. Whether it's ham or chicken or beef, love steak. But it does bog me down. I just kind of choose to ignore it. But you can only ignore your body's inflammatory responses so much until you gotta go, okay. So I'm not gonna focus on sugar coming from fruit at all. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm not even gonna have it be a consideration. I'm just gonna stick a lot more to fruits and veggies. Plain and simple, that's it. And then at night, I'm gonna have my slower digesting proteins and things like that. A few more carb, like if I decide to have some baked potatoes or sweet potatoes, or which I don't really have that often, but or eat potato, healthy avocado oil potato chips as a snack with some salami or something, something along those lines. But yeah, I think it's a good idea for everybody to stop worrying so much about that nutrient intake early in the day. I mean, by nutrient intake, I should say this: nutrient intake surrounding your workout early in the day. If you're a late afternoon workout guy, then by all means, that's fantastic. Go work out after work, 5 o'clock. You're getting your big meal at 7 when you should. Often guys freak out and they're like, well, you don't want to eat a big dinner because you're just going to add on weight onto your body when you do that. It's just nonsense. Your body recovers at night. That's when your body uses that, man. It's gotta build something. Now, obviously, you gotta eat nutrient dense, healthy foods. If you go out and eat a couple Big Macs before you go to bed, you'll probably gain some weight. But I've always gone against that, not because I thought I knew better, but I was like, man, my body says it wants some. I've always eaten big meals at night. Now, my problem's been eating too many, larger meals earlier in the day. Like, I used to be such a breakfast nut, man. I used to love, biscuits and gravy and sausage patties and bacon, and it's just like, man, that's the worst, right? That's the absolute worst. So, that's just where I'm going to go. I'm going to try that out. We'll see. I'm going to do one more video tomorrow, basically just talking about how this, the video taking process is going for me and what I think of it. I've been kind of slacking seriously on doing it, but I've been working on other stuff, so we'll talk about that too. But I'll do one more tomorrow before this series is done, and then I might create a new account and do some specific stuff on setting things along those lines. So I don't know what's going to come of it, but for right now, more fruits, veggies, fasting early in the day, and work on those nutrients for recovery at night. And I will talk to you soon.